Ho ho ho. So this video is the last gardening video that I will be doing. So timeline wise, just in case it comes out later, it's the 19th of December, which I think is the last Friday, and this is going to be the last grass cut, the last hedge cut, and the last garden maintenance visit of this season. I'm going to do a video at some point talking about how this season's gone. By the way, it's gone very well for me, but I'll talk about it in another video, because there is always ups and downs, always ups and downs. But yeah, so in this video we've got a grass cut first, get that sorted for this customer, and then we'll move on to probably the garden maintenance bit next, or maybe the hedge cut next, so we'll see. So yeah, let's crack on with it. Take this off. One size fits all is a total lie. Too big of a head. So as usual guys, let's get cracking and have a good day. So, don't want to make every video, you know, a promotional video, but I will give credit where it's due. So, this lawn, I'll show you before I go to the mower, parts of this lawn haven't been cut all season because there's been wildflower. And this mower has took it down to the same height, and I am doing a low cut. Obviously, it's spat a little bit of grass here, but as good gardeners, we know when to cover our, you know, work. So we're going to come with a blower and just neaten this off. But look at that. And this is cutting on number 1 on the back, so a low setting, and number 2 on the front. And it is absolutely eating it up. So yeah, credit where credit's due, guys. So that's this property all seen to. I never thought I'd be cutting grass on the 19th of December, but it is what it is. It feels like the start of the season, if I'm being sort of brutally honest with you, but yeah, all done and dusted. So I mulched all of this in the end, just got it all knocked down for her, and then I went around with a backpack blower just to basically just to neaten it up. So I'm going to go on to the next job, which, depending on the order, is either a little garden maintenance or a laurel cut. So we've got the bins, or we've got what we need, so we'll get that done, guys. Right, so this is the second job and could potentially be the final job. I've got another garden maintenance job, but she's not in. She's been a bit poorly, but anyway. So this hedge just wants pushing back. It doesn't get topped per se because it's not her hedge, but it does just get a little bit of a smarten up at the top, and then likewise just across there. It's basically just to keep it under control really. So again, just pushing it back there and just sort of rounding it over, like I said. And then the conifers down this side, it just all gets a good tidying up really. And anything that's coming over like these, we just whip them off really. So yeah, I'll get you set up probably over there, and then we'll get cracking. So, future Sam here. I'm just noticing while I'm editing, God, look how bald I'm going on top. There's not many trees left in them woods. So, just noticed I haven't got my PPE on. And don't be like me. I'd say wear your PPE at all times. Hedges, shrubs, even light trims, even conifers. It can catch you out. You think that, oh, I won't flick in your eye. Of all the times things have pinged off and hit my safety glasses, it's been when I've been hedge cutting. So don't be like me, always wear your PPE. So that's them done. I did just go and put a level on there. Let me turn you around. So done that. Like I said, it's not her hedge, so we just level that bit off for her, and then just flatten that. Again, I talked about this in a previous video. This hedge about 3 years ago was knocked down. You can see it where it was taken down. You just see it probably had about tree, you can't see it, but it probably had about 4 foot off it. Council come and did it, and well, I'll do it from here. Yeah, I think they took it today, you know, straight across. But well, it's grown, hasn't it? So on to the next job, which is a bonus job. Right, so this one is very much a sort of an is what it is. It's just trying to get it as tidy as possible. So get these leaves up here. At some point I've got to come back with, so he's just had this laid, no comment. So I've got to come back and weed kill all of this here. And basically just try and tidy up as best as I can. That's a bit of a no-go area. Oh, fun fact, that was that trailer light I broke ages ago, and he's broke it. So yeah, they just want to be broken. And then round here is this is the sort of the job. It's just tidying this, basically, just giving this a trim, get the leaves up, just trying to sort of, this bloke's got a lot on, so it's just basically just trying to sort of get it better, basically. So conifers, and then round here, like I said, just trying to keep it as, you know, tidy. The big one is when I get the weed killer down and then get it, probably, as much as it pains me, I don't really want to be strimming off here, but sort something once the weed killer's down. But that's not a job for today, guys. That's a future Sam problem. So the big job for this property at some point is, it's going to be a big job actually, is all of this needs emptying, because what he wants is, he wants a flower bed. Well, he wants, you know, plants putting in here, but the people who did this have filled it with junk. So you've just got big clods of concrete and just rubbish, basically. So at some point this has all got to be emptied, dug out as best as I can, so I'll probably have to get some help with that. Skip here because it's going to weigh a ton. I'm not taking tons of soil. So get all this out and then backfill it with soil, and then eventually it's going to be planted up, as you know, so it's nice, basically. I'll just show this now because it's not going to be clear, but I'll explain it. So one of the things I do when I'm cutting conifer, so probably about a foot needs taking off it. You'll see me taking bites at it, and yes, you can sweep through and do the whole lot, no problem. But I find when it comes to raking it, it's like as if it's easier in small pieces, basically. So if you're thinking, why is he taking so many bites at it, it's because I like it finer. I just think it goes in the bin easier, it rakes up easier. So yeah, right, let's crack on. So they're done. They look a lot better. I do the other side's house, so I'll do that side. I think that's going to be after this, after the Christmas break. So yeah, I will finish up by a little bit of a chat in the van. So we may as well finish the video as we started, with the extremely tight hat. So yeah, that's 3 gardens done. The other one that we're supposed to have done, I just couldn't get hold of her. She's been very poorly lately, so I hope, you know, she's okay. I did ring up yesterday. She's fine with it, but today can't get any answer off her at all. So it is what it is, unfortunately. I will, you know, keep trying to call her just to see how she is, but the visit will be after Christmas now. So this is the last of the work that I will be doing gardening wise. On top of that, this is the last paid work that I will be doing. This will be the last sort of money that I will be getting, or regular money that I will be getting. So this is why I said to you, well in advance, you've got to put money away, because it can come quickly. You might think subconsciously, oh, it's the 19th of December, I've got 11 more days to earn money. But 19th of December, that's the end for me now, until the new year basically. Customer wise, we've, like I said, wrapped everybody up. There is a few visits that were missed due to one thing or another, so they will have to be done next season. Tools and all the other equipment, I don't really shut down my tools per se and the business per se, because once we get into the first, second week of January, I will be, you know, there is still work to be done, there is still visits to be done. What I tend to do is club all the work together, basically try and get everybody sorted. You know, even if I just do 1 week on one day on the second week of Jan, and then, you know, a little bit more. But like I said, I try and compress all the work together if I can. But as for tools and as for stuff like that, one of the things I do is I will take the batteries into the house to keep them warm basically. They don't like being sat in the freezing cold. As for storage charge, I think it's advised that they should be kept to 60 to 80% charge. Don't quote me on that. Like I said, I never really stick to that. Like I said, all my tools are in regular use. It's like the mowers, I only have the Artesia mower now that's in full rotation, and the Crest mower which is in full rotation. So the Artesia mower will have a full service done by myself, where I will drop the oil, change the filters, you know, just give it a good look, you know, a good thingy, and then I dump fresh fuel back into it basically. I always, one of the things that I do is, I keep saying I always, but you get what I mean, I always buy the best fuel, you know, the premium fuel, whatever it is, like V-Star or whatever it is. I think the standard fuel that you can buy, I don't think it lasts, and I've heard a lot of other people that say it doesn't last. Machines that I don't use very often at all, so I will put Aspen into them. So the chipper, generator, well, the generator's in for repair, but the chipper and the moss brush I will run off Aspen, and then touch wood, that sort of keeps the problems at bay. As for the cordless tools and the van itself, so the van I always try and keep cracked, you know, I've got the Hecko things on, the wind deflectors, keep them cracked. I try and keep as much ventilation in, so even though I won't be working over Christmas, you know, I will be around the van, so I'll leave the doors open while I'm doing stuff. I've got so much projects that need to get done basically, so I try and keep the van aired in, you know, because they can get a bit damp, they can get condensation-y, so try and sort of keep on top of it like that. The tools itself, cordless, even though they don't need servicing, I do go through and give them a good service, as in, you know, I've talked about this before, clean the blades off, grease what needs greasing, spray grease onto what needs spraying grease onto, give them a wipe down, you know. And you might think, well, why do you wipe it down? When you give stuff a wipe down, you're seeing if there's any visual defects, if there's any visual damage, and as such you can then order it or replace it as needed. hand tools, shovels, spades, anything that, you know, that's got moving parts like loppers, secateurs, long reach. I get a can of that PTFE spray oil. Don't use WD-40. I've always been told that WD-40 is a cleaning agent, and it actually breaks down grease in the long term. Yes, it is good for unseasoned things, but probably spray oil is. WD-40 is good because it can get into stuff, it can creep into stuff, but it shouldn't be used as a lubricant. Misconception, I know. So yeah, everything gets a spray off, everything gets a good sort of, you know, treatment basically. So yeah, I'll leave this video here, but one of the things I will say is thank you for watching the videos over, well, of all the time you watch it. If you make it towards the end, big shout out. And like I said, I don't often say this, I probably should say it more, but like and subscribe, it really helps. Drop a comment, it really helps. So as usual, have a good day, keep on gardening.